Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here from Kyiv, Ukraine. I want to talk to my fellow Nigerians today about big man syndrome, how big man syndrome is killing Nigeria. You see, these days you hear a lot about revolution, restructuring. People want to restructure Nigeria. But really, is it the structure that is killing Nigeria? I don't think so. And I want to prove that to you today, that it's not the structure that is killing Nigeria. Is it some people want revolution against the government? Is it the government that is killing Nigeria? Even though most Nigerians believe it is the government that's killing Nigeria, but really? I don't think so. What is killing Nigeria is one thing: the big men of Nigeria. So this big man syndrome, even people who are not big yet, are still having the syndrome because they want to become big men. Most people who carry drugs, you know why? Because they want to become big men. Most pastors who ride on jets and fly jets all around the world, why their people are living in penury, you know what's causing them to do that? They want to become big men. That is big man syndrome. Have you ever heard that the biggest churches in the world are in Nigeria, and that the richest pastors in the world are Nigerian pastors? Meanwhile, at that very same time, their congregations are living on less than $1 a day. Why are pastors living large and their members who are feeding them, whose money they are collecting to live that big, are dying of abject poverty? Big man syndrome. So, but I want to talk more a bit about that today, because that is the real thing that is killing Nigeria. And if there is anything that this government, this Buhari government, could do for ordinary Nigerians and to make Nigeria better, is because this is our best chance with Buhari. Buhari seems to be the closest of all our rulers to ordinary people, to the masses. So if the Buhari government doesn't reverse this trend and doesn't, reduce the influence of the big men in Nigeria, or destroy the big man syndrome in Nigeria, the chances for Nigeria will be very, very small. The future of the country will be bleak. So when we talk about Nigeria and how the big man syndrome is destroying the country, we're actually when we talk about Nigeria in general, you know, the kind of people, the only people that everything is targeting is mainly towards the little elite that are the big men. Everything is done for them. The people who are really owning Nigeria, and when we talk about Nigeria and Nigerians, we are only talking about this 5 to 10 or 20% of Nigerians. When we talk about Nigeria, like for example, I and you, we are on the internet now. You are watching me on the internet. And you might think that the whole of Nigeria is watching me, or the whole of Nigeria is on the internet. But it's not true. It's just the little elite that we all know, or just me and you who speak English. How many of Nigerians really speak good English to understand what we're talking about right now? Maybe about 20% of the country, not more than 40%. So which means 60 to 80% of the country, they don't even have an idea what we're talking about. Let's talk about the internet. You know how many Nigerians are in the internet? Only 18 million, less than 20 million Nigerians. So what is 20 million in Nigeria population? 20 million is less than 10% of the population. 20 million will only be 10% of Nigerians. So only 10%, 20 million people have access to internet, which means that 180 million Nigerians don't even have access to internet. So what are we talking about? So all this noise we are making in the internet, all this talk we are doing, we are just talking among ourselves. It's only among these 20 million, 10% of Nigeria. Only the 10% of Nigerians are actually ruling Nigeria. We are part of the big man. But we are still not the big men syndrome that I'm talking about. We are just the elite. So there are two different kind of categories, that groups of people that we have in Nigeria. Three actually. We have the big men, then we have the elite, then we have the masses. The masses are nobody in that country. They don't even know they belong to Nigeria. They don't even know what Nigeria means. We are talking about Nigeria as being rich. Yes, we are number 5 or number 6 oil producing country in the world. Now, with all that wealth coming from oil, with all the wealth that Nigeria is making from billions of dollars coming from oil, Nigeria is a paradox, because that money is supposed to give Nigerians good life, like in Saudi Arabia, like in OAU, like in United Arab Emirates, like in Dubai, like in Kuwait. So that's why Nigeria's case is so tragic. That we have so much oil, so much money, all these raw materials. At least potentially, we are so rich potentially, but our people are the poorest in the world. Where is that disharmony coming from? Where is that paradox coming from? That paradox is coming because of the big man syndrome. Because the big men, the less than 5% of Nigerians who are the big men, maybe 1% of Nigerians, maybe less than 1% of Nigerians who are the big men, they take all the privileges and they have access to all the wealth that is meant for 200 million people, and these few people, these 1-2% of Nigerians, are the ones who are the big men, who are taking advantage of these things, and who are, living large, while the majority of their citizens are living in abject poverty. So talking about Nigeria as being rich, no, Nigeria is rich potentially, but Nigerians are poor. No, we talk about, but we have billionaires. The richest man in Africa is from Nigeria. And then we have all these billionaires, but how many are there? Nigerians are not really rich. Nigerians are poor. 200 million Nigerians. In fact, 99% of Nigerians are poor. Even the elite, that is the 10%, the elite, the people who have access to the internet, they are the elite in Nigeria, okay? So let's say the elite is only 10% in Nigeria. Out of that 10%, they are not big men. Even they are not rich. The only ones that are rich and that are killing the country are the big men. And even the elite, they are dreaming of becoming some of the big men. They want to get into the big man syndrome. So when we talk about Nigerians as being rich, do you know how many Nigerians are truly rich? There are not many. We have less than, statistically, we have only 10,000 Nigerians that could be considered as being rich, who are having at least $1 million and above. Only 10,000. Now, maybe you might think that, oh, that is a lot. But why should we be having 10,000 people who are rich, where they buy the rest? Okay, if you have 10,000 people who are having $1 million and above, right? But the rest of the people are having $1. That is maybe 200 million people are only living on $1 a day, whereby only 10,000 are having $1 million and above. But out of these 10,000 that are truly rich in Nigeria, but what is 10,000? Even if they are going to have employment for people, right? The 10,000 is too small. We need to have 10 million, 100 million rich people. Then we will say we are rich. At least 1 million, at least 10 million rich people. That is what the government should be talking about. We should be making, that is when we say our country is rich. We should think of a way to make Nigerians rich. We need at least 1 million or 10 million of them that will have 1 million and above in US dollars. But right now, we only have 10,000. That is a poor country. But the unfortunate thing is that the rest of the population is only having $1. Maybe apart from the elite that I spoke about, the 20 million, which is the 10%. But from that 10,000 people that are rich, that are comfortable in Nigeria, only 500 of them are super rich. Because we talk about all these rich Nigeria, Dangote, Otedola, all these people, but most of them they are just very few. They are just about 500 that are truly rich. And you see, when you go to England, you will be surprised that some of the eyebrow houses and the places where people the super rich people are living in England, you see Nigerians, that Nigerians own these houses, so a lot of houses in those places, eyebrow area. And the eyebrow areas of Dubai, United Arab Emirates, a lot of the owners of those houses, places are Nigerians as well. Go to America, you see that some of the biggest buildings there are owned by Nigerians. But when we talk about all these Nigerians that are rich and wealthy, owning houses in England, in Dubai, in America, we think, oh, that is like almost half of Nigeria or even 1% of Nigeria. No, it's just about 500 Nigerians. So can you imagine a country like that where you have 200 million citizens and only 500 can afford to have and own houses everywhere? Houses, cars, you own the whole country and then go out of the country and own America, England, and other countries as well. Only 500. So the inequality in Nigeria is what is killing Nigeria. And this inequality could be defined by that phrase, big man syndrome. So the big man syndrome is the whole idea of a few people gathering the wealth that belongs to the commonwealth of everybody, gathering the thing that's supposed to be distributed to everyone. That's why we don't have middle class in Nigeria. We don't have middle class, and we only have a whole bunch of people who are poor. Why they are all poor is because if the few that are enlightened have decided to gather and take to themselves what belongs to everybody else. So there are only 500 Nigerians that are truly rich big time. I mean, these are people who are multi-millionaires or billionaires, 500. But 10,000 are the ones who are comfortable, who are rich, who are wealthy. But even most of these 500 people that are super rich, do you want to find out where their money is coming from? A lot of them, their money is coming from corruption. They are the ones who are getting the contracts. They are the ones who are getting the businesses. And these people come from every part of Nigeria. They come from the Yorubas, they come from the Igbos, they come from the Hausas, they come from every facet of Nigerian society. So if you are talking about reconstructing or restructuring, because I'm always saying reconstruction because that's what I believe in. I don't believe, and I'm going to do another video one day. I don't believe in restructuring. I believe in reconstruction. I don't believe in restructure. I believe in reconstruction. So, but I will talk about restructuring and reconstruction later on. But what we Nigerians are putting our efforts in the wrong place. We are supposed to be thinking of how to balance the distribution of wealth in our country, how to destroy the big man syndrome. But we are focusing. They are making us, these same wealthy people are making us to put our efforts in the wrong place by pushing us to do restructuring. Restructuring, making everything look political. But most of these people, these wealthy people we're talking about, these 10,000 Nigerians and the 5,000 top 500 super rich, they are not politicians. Most of them are not politicians. You will be shocked that they are not politicians. But they will make you to think that the politicians are your problem. Politicians are also bad. Don't get me wrong. They are also bad, and some of them are politicians. But the real people who are destroying Nigeria, who are killing our country, are these people we call the big men. Because they get all the money, the commonwealth of the whole country, and put in their pocket, number one. Number two, the contracts that are supposed to be used to better the life of Nigerians, they award those contracts to themselves, to their friends, to their cronies, and they even get those contracts from the government and don't always fulfill the conditions of the contract and just take the money and disappear. So those are the people destroying Nigeria. And a lot of these people, they are not even investing their money in Nigeria to be able to provide jobs and opportunities for other Nigerians, but they go and take the money to other countries and stock them in foreign bank accounts. These are the people who are truly destroying Nigeria. So the big man syndrome, and then that evil mentality, that whole value system of being a big man, wanting to be a big man, that is what is destroying Nigeria. So if you want to restructure and destroy something, it is not the Nigerian structure that needs to be destroyed. It is what needs to be destroyed is that mindset, the value system of wanting to be a big man. From primary school, people want to be big man. From secondary school, university, everybody is dreaming of becoming a big man. And even the reason why people want to go into politics is to become a big man. So it is the big man syndrome that we really need to attack. When you are talking about a country where, have you heard about the 20 people who, from AMCON the AMCON is a government structure, government company that was founded, where they used they took the money of Nigerian people, the Nigerian government loaned money to these people, but only there are many, more than 20, hundreds of them, but only 20 of them that have access to what they call national cake. They are looking at AMCON as a national cake. 20% of Nigerians are owning Nigeria, or Nigerian population, owing the government the amount of 5 trillion naira. Can you imagine? 20 people, only 20 people. So out of those 500 top super rich people, some 20 of them or everybody knows them in the country. And one day, the next program I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to give you the list of these big men that are destroying Nigeria. So what they do, most of them, the way they got their wealth is that they go into the government coffers, take the money and as a loan, and never return it, and just use it to build their own lives and take the money outside. So that is how a lot of our so-called big men have become rich. That is what they call national cake. They go there, take the contract, never do the contract, and take the money and put in their pocket. Or they go to the banks, empty the banks, and the banks, whose money is in the bank, is the money of all the population, the money of the government, the money of ordinary people. They go and borrow the money and never return the money. That is how most people become rich in Nigeria. And that's how they became the big men. So if we need revolution, the revolution should be against this mindset, this value system of wanting to become a big man. And we should actually humble all these so-called big men. All these big men needs to be humbled. All these big men need to be reduced to ordinary people. All these big men must be persecuted, because that AMCOM company that I'm talking about, which I'm going to talk about. Can you imagine 20 Nigerians alone, only 20 people, took the amount that is equal to the national budget. The whole budget of Nigeria is about 20 something billion, less than $30 billion, and 20 people, that AMCON alone is owing Nigerian, the money that they are owing the country is more than the budget of the whole country. Can you imagine when 20 people control about the whole budget of Nigeria? About the whole budget of Nigeria, almost the same amount of budget, 80% of the budget of Nigeria is in the hands of 20 people, and they are not returning. They are not returning the money. Thank God that right now President Buhari has just signed, because when you take them to court, they get the lawyers, the top lawyers, and the top lawyers, they give them money, and they are dragging the cases in court so much that the courts cannot prosecute them and take them. They cannot put them in jail and remove their stuff. So now, thank God, it's like our President Buhari is doing something positive in that area. He's just signed a law to be able to, prosecute these people and challenge them. So that is a main problem we have in Nigeria. The people who are destroying Nigeria are the big men. These 500 people, we must start a new system in Nigeria where we begin to question people about the source of their money. We have to be able to, prosecute and persecute people who have taken the money from the commonwealth of the country, like these 20 people, and be able to challenge them to court and be able to command them or demand for them to return what they have taken from the coffers of Nigeria. So now, when we talk about, because another aspect of big manism in Nigeria are the government. Let's now talk about the government officials, right? Because a lot of people are thinking the government, the politicians and the government officials are our problem, okay? But how many government officials do we really have? How many political posts do we have? Both federal, local, and state government, we only have about 12,000 political positions. 12,000. So if we only have 12,000 political posts, so who are these people we are talking about? Let's even assume that the 12,000 politicians or political office holders, they are rich, but they are not all rich. But let's even assume that they are rich. But and everybody in Nigeria wants to go get a political position. Why? Because they want to also become big men. They want to divide the national cake. 12,000 political posts. Only 12,000. And everybody is like crazy about these things. But these are not really the that is not what we should all be driving towards. But it is because of the mentality of sharing the national cake. That's why we all want to go into politics. But really, we are not really well off as a country. Let's even assume that the 12,000 people are rich, all of them are rich. But I already told you, only 500 Nigerians are truly rich. And the ones that are comfortable, rich a little bit, are 10,000. And so the politicians and people there are just about 12,000 of them. They are not all as rich as we are talking about. Now, we will say, but apart from the 12,000 who are the political office holders, what about the civil servants? Well, the civil servants are only 4 million people. So if you are going to talk about all government employees, politicians and civil servants together, they are less than 5,000. They are less than 5,000. They are less than 4 million, sorry. They are less than 5 million. So all political of office holders and the civil servants are 4 million in Nigeria. So what is 4 million? When we are talking about a country of 200 million, 4 million is what? It's less than, it's about 2%. Yeah? It's about 4% maybe or something, less than 5%. So if we have only 12 million people that are being employed by the whole country, and that is only about less than 5%, maybe 2%. But so what are we talking about? That, these people are, why are we even looking towards politics? Why are we looking? We have to empower our people. We have to talk about real Nigerians. The real Nigerians are the 200 million that are not even aware that these positions are there. We know why we're all concentrating on these political offices, and it's because we want to become big men. That is what is destroying Nigeria, the big man syndrome. Either through business, the big business and contracts. Those are the ones I spoke about, the 10,000 Nigerians who are rich and the 500 super rich. And then the politicians, who are only about 12,000 of them. And then, these 11 million civil servants and government workers, if we can say they are big men. But what is driving them there is big manism. So all put together, there are less than 5% of Nigerians that are really, having access to what Nigeria is. So, but what I'm trying to say is that, we have destroyed our country through the desire to become big men. We are being driven by this desire to go and share national cake. That idea of getting something from Nigeria instead of giving something to Nigeria is what's killing us. We should begin to imbibe into ourselves the philosophy of G.F. Kennedy, when he says that don't ask what your country could give to you, but ask what you could give to your country, what you could do to your country. We should begin to, propagate a new value system that what can I do to make my country a better place? What can I do to make Nigerians better? What can I do to make Nigeria better? What can I do to add to the country, to add to Nigerians, instead of wanting to become a big man at the expense of Nigeria itself? A lot of people also talk about another aspect of this big manism is that people are always talking about, the media is talking about the politicians, they are talking about the rich, they are talking about Nollywood, they are talking about all these celebrities, and everybody is thinking that is what all the discussion is all about, the rich, the celebrities, we have a magazine that is even called Ovation magazine, and you see the weddings, you see the ceremonies, you see everybody's, we are not talking of Nigerians, that's what I'm trying to say. The old talk, television, everything is all about this few 1% of Nigerians, 2% of Nigerians that are controlling the whole thing. What about the real masses? They only call them masses. When it comes to names and celebration and everything, people are talking about concrete individuals. But when it comes to 200 million Nigerians, real Nigerians, they're just the masses. So the masses are supposed to become the real Nigerians. The big men people are supposed to go down. We are supposed to, downplay those ones, and we are supposed to begin to begin to talk about the real people that matters. People talk about big houses in Nigeria, and even me myself, I'm impressed when I go to Nigeria, especially when you go to a place like Lekki, Banana Island, Abuja, what they call it, Asokoro, Ikeja, and all those places, Ikoyi, in Marila or whatever they call it. When you go to all those places in Nigeria, you see all those big houses. But do we really think that we have big houses in Nigeria or good houses in Nigeria? Let me tell you the statistics. The statistics is that all those big houses we're talking about in Nigeria, there are only 100,000 big houses in Nigeria. And some of them are belonging to the same people. But all together, let's even say there are different individuals who own all the 100,000 houses. What is 100,000 houses when you have a country of 200 million? I'm not talking about 100 million houses. So I'm not even talking about 1 million houses. I'm not even talking about 10 million houses. We only have 100,000 houses, the big houses we are talking about. That 100,000 houses is less than 0.1% of Nigerian population. All the rest of the people, they are living in the street, they are living in mud houses, they are living in patched houses. And then we have the house deficit in Nigeria, the official one, that 10 million Nigerians don't even have a house to live in. 10 million Nigerians. We are talking about 10 million Nigerians that don't even have a house at all, and then 100,000 that are living like kings. Of course, out of that 100,000, the same, that 100,000 houses, they belong to those same 10,000 comfortable Nigerians and the 500, especially the 500 super rich. People talk about the big cars. Have you ever heard of Nigerians talking about the big cars? These big cars are in Nigeria. That car has reached Nigeria. Even some people will even come to England and say, these cars are not. Come to Nigeria, you see big cars. Some people even go to Europe and say, Nigeria has more Mercedes-Benz than even Germany. But you know how many cars we really have in Nigeria? The totality, all cars put together. Only 11 million cars. What is 11 million cars? Let's even say those 11 million cars belong to 11 million people, which is not true because some people have 2 cars, 3 cars. So let's even say all the cars in Nigeria are 11 million and they are owned by 11 million people. What is 11 million in the percentage of things in Nigeria? 11 million is only 5% of Nigeria. 5%. So only 5% of the whole country of Nigeria, only 5% could afford a car. Only 5%. 95% cannot afford a car. So these are supposed to be Nigerians too. And it's not 5%. We know that it's not 5% because we don't have 5% that have, we don't have 11 million that have a car. That 11 million is not for Nigerians. It's not Nigeria. It's not every Nigerian that has a car. It's just the amount of cars we have in the whole country. And those amount of cars, they belong to just, that same 10,000 and, people we are talking about. Even those 100,000 houses, they don't belong to 100,000 people. They only belong to, again, those 10,000 people. So what I'm talking about is that we don't have Nigeria. The people that own Nigeria, that are using Nigeria, they are the ones who are killing Nigeria. This same elite, these big men, they are the ones killing Nigeria. They have separated themselves. They built a whole life for themselves apart from real Nigerians. The real Nigerians are really just suffering. Yes, we have about maybe 10% of Nigerians, those 18 million that have access to internet, that are, we will say they are, elite. But the elite, they are not always comfortable. The ones that are really comfortable are the 10,000 and then the 500. Because even the politicians, there are only 12,000 of them. That are on top government positions. And the civil servants, 11 million, they are not comfortable. So the point I'm trying to make is that until we destroy that elitism, that oligarchs, that aristocratic class of big men in Nigeria, we will never really get to real Nigerians. We will never really get to take care of, to build the real Nigeria. It is these people who are destroying Nigeria, these so-called big men, and that mindset of big men. The pastors want to become big men. That's why they are, buying the jets and building the big houses and keeping people poor. The drug addicts want to become big men. That's why they are carrying drugs, and that's why the kidnapping is increasing. So all these menace of the society, they will keep on growing. We will keep on having kidnapping because they want to become big men too. We will keep on having, the people killing and, maiming other people's armed robbers because they want to become big men too. So what is really killing Nigeria is the big man syndrome. And until we change the focus of Nigeria, that these people, because the media people are only talking about them. They put it in your face that this is real life. See how people are enjoying. See how people are living. See the big house people are living in. See the big cars. But they will not tell you that these things are only owned by about 10,000 Nigerians. And that 200 million have to just look and lick their lips and don't have any option. So if Buhari can help us, if Buhari really wants to help Nigeria, the real thing to focus on is to bring about equality, at least to some extent. Create a middle class. Destroy this old philosophy, this old madness of big manism. Probe all these so-called super rich that have used the commonwealth of the people to their own gain. Take them to court and strip them. Stop appointing them as ministers and governors. We need to break that stronghold of big manism over Nigeria, guys. This is the real thing that is killing Nigeria. And I'm going to continue to talk about, I'm going to mention real names of the people who are really killing Nigerians, who have brought Nigeria to our knees. You will discover that they are not really politicians and it's not really structure. So the people who are campaigning for Biafra, for Oduduwa, for South to live, you have your fight in the wrong place. Because all these big men that we are talking about, they are among Biafrans, they are among Yorubas, they are among every tribe. And they are your enemies. And even if you divide and get your own Biafra, they will still hold you as slaves in your own country over there. The ones who are holding Nigeria as slaves now, they are also holding you as slaves. Even if you get Yoruba land as your country, they are still going to hold you also as slaves, enslaved. So let's focus on the right thing. And that right thing is let's all the elite and all of us and all Nigerians begin to raise our voices against this class separation, the class division, this short, small clique of people that are that have owned the whole country and have privatized Nigeria and have really monetized Nigeria and monopolized Nigeria and have turned the rest of the country into slaves. The same thing pastors have done. They are just taking money from ordinary people and making them into their slaves. Churches have become slave camps. This is the real problem that we have in that country. The class division of the small people who own all the cars, all the houses, all the money, all the contracts, all the political positions. That is what we really need to fight against. Well, for the love of God, church, and nation. Peace.